This is the window in my studio space. It's 8 feet long, 2 feet 10 inches tall, and 4 feet 9 inches off the ground. You can't see a lot from it, although there's a very active and aggressive squirrel that roams the area and often uses that outside tree as his personal exercise apparatus. I'm incredibly grateful for this space. When we were in the thick of the pandemic, this idea was suggested to me as a temporary refuge where I could separate work and home. I looked at several rooms in this building and finally chose this one in part because of its window. Many of the other rooms were on the interior of the building without windows at all. That said, the irony of this situation isn't lost on me. I'm a creative person confined to a room with a window I have to stand on my tippy toes to look out of. The lack of visibility does, unsurprisingly, heighten other senses. A decade ago, the building was required to rebuild their ramp to comply with ADA requirements, so now a wooden labyrinth of 4 separate paths lead to a glass doorway. This ramp passes directly underneath my window and allows me to overhear conversations of those coming and going without really meaning to, especially because of the duration it takes to get from the top to the bottom. I first decide to start recording what a typical day might sound like. I choose Monday because I'll be gone most of the day and won't interfere with the audio quality. I set up a recorder around 9:15 a.m. and place it on my window ledge, and I come back later at 4 p.m. to turn it off. Listening to the audio proves more challenging than I would have expected. I thought it would only record conversations, but instead I got over 6 hours worth of solid audio. I import it into Premiere, hoping that I'll be able to differentiate between pitches, which I can, and I began taking note of audible moments.
Should be there, but if some reason it's not, go into my drawer next to my bed. Order? Oh, get your meds. Two things. Make sure you order your meds and make sure you follow up on the surgeon thing. I don't care if he said he's going to send it. You got to call. Make a phone call.
Yeah, you're right. I will do that.
Get that going as quick as possible. You're going to want to schedule it. And then do no one else.
I'm gonna do it online.
Hey, on the other thing, let's see. Wait, hold on.
because this window is in my studio, as opposed to my home or my bedroom, I recognize that I have the opportunity to be a bit more experimental with the space. I start to think about its surroundings, as well as some of my previously mentioned originating facts. I took the space to be able to work alone, to effectively shut out noise from other people, machines, and objects. As I mentioned earlier, my studio is located in an office building full of shared spaces. I share a wall with a therapist. There's also a school tutoring program, an accountant, a mortgage broker, and a private detective. The sounds I hear throughout my day, as well as the sounds I encountered through my audio, are all recognizable, things that I could name. They're also all very expected in an office building and parking lot setting. I begin to think, similar to what someone else mentioned on Tuesday, what if the sound was something you didn't expect? Because dealing with COVID is already anxiety producing, I wanted to make sure the sound that I played wouldn't raise concern. Water came to mind. There's a pool with an engineered waterfall at my parents', so I decided to start by recording an hour's worth of audio there. I placed it close to the source in hope it would drown out other noise sources. It did. Thursday night, I install an animal camera pointed directly at my window. It's difficult to hear in this video, but the sound of water is clearly audible when walking on the ramp. The following are the results from this experiment.